Hey guys, welcome to Techability, your source for no-nonsense tech. I am Barrage, thank you guys for watching. This is the HTC One M8 32GB Gold Developer Edition smartphone. This was recently released through HTC's website as well as through Verizon, AT&T and Sprint, and T-Mobile on April 11th, and it's HTC's new flagship device. It is the predecessor to the HTC One, which was released last year. This device is a great device in many different ways, and we're going to go ahead and cover all those bases while we go through basically its features, what it entails, how it's different from other Android smartphones as well as an iPhone or Windows phones, and why this phone should be a device that you put on your list as a potential purchase. So with that said, let's get straight to the point here with the M8. Now, I'm a big fan of the beautiful design of this phone. You could just look at the back right here, and it's gold, and obviously you have a nice metal finish unibody. It's got a gorgeous design. It's thin. It may not be the thinnest phone, but it's 9.4 millimeters in thickness. It's fairly light. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's right in the middle. It does feel really premium. The device in itself is absolutely gorgeous. There's no doubt about that in my mind. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. Some people like that plastic build, but me personally, I prefer this metal unibody build, especially for what you're going to pay for it. I mean, this is a developer edition. This is $649 without tax and shipping, so it's a pretty pricey phone. And you could just see if I go around the device, and we'll do that, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys where everything is located. It's a gorgeous device. It's got a matte finish, matte gold finish. They also have this in gunmetal gray as well as silver. Okay, gorgeous device in my opinion. Alright, so let's go ahead and go through the specs. You have a 1080p 5-inch display with on-screen capacitive buttons. You have 441 pixels per inch with the dual boom sound speakers, the front-facing camera. Now on the back you have the 4 ultra pixel camera. It's 2 cameras as you could see, and a dual LED flash, HTC logo, no carrier branding, which I love. Also no bloatware because it's the developer edition. Developer edition meaning the bootloader is unlocked for seamless development. Okay, you have the antennas down below. Again, it's 9.4 millimeters in thickness. You have the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack as well as the micro USB charging port, volume rockers, and expandable storage. Yes, expandable storage. We didn't have that with the initial HTC One. So there is expandable storage up to 128 gigs. You have the IR blaster and the power button. You have the nano SIM card tray. Nano SIM now is basically what the iPhone 5, 5C, and 5S have been using. It's smaller than micro, so this does use nano SIM. And of course you have the chamfered edges. Very little bezel except for the top and bottom because obviously you have the dual boom sound speakers. So although there is, the top and bottom which is bezel in comparison to say the Note 3 or the G2 which has very little bezel, it's just gorgeous to look at. I mean, the front of this device is beautiful. Viewing angles are absolutely fantastic. You have a Super LCD Gorilla Glass 3 display, and one great thing about this phone is HTC offers you their Advantage program, which means you get 6 months of free screen repair. So if you damage your screen, they're repaired for free. There's a couple other perks that you get with that as well. So the device in itself feels good in the hand. It's definitely an eye catcher. It's definitely a device that people are going to say, hey, what is that? What kind of phone is that? Is that the new Samsung? No, it's not the new Samsung. It's the HTC One, the M8. Also called the HTC One, so really it's they've used the same name. Now, with that said, in terms of internal specs, you have a Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor. It's clocked in at, I believe, 2.5 gigs. I think it's 2.5 gigs. I'm pretty sure about that, maybe 2.4. But you also have 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigabyte internal storage, plus you have the LTE banding. So the developer edition does come with multiple LTE bands. So if you're on AT&T or you're on T-Mobile, you can see I'm on T-Mobile. I do get LTE. It's missing one band, so you may get shoddy HSPA+, but in terms of LTE speeds, you can see if I go to speed test here and go to results, I've had fairly decent speeds. I mean, in LA, Los Angeles, where I'm at, rural Los Angeles, 29, 33, 12 up, 8 up, 10 up. Not bad. The speeds tend to slow down if you're in an area that doesn't have better LTE, but in terms of their refarmed network, if you're in an area where they've refarmed their network and their bands, you will get LTE. So that's something that I was concerned about at first, but lo and behold, it does have LTE. So that is the hardware of the HTC One. It's, you know, it just feels good in the hand, guys. I mean, it's a gorgeous device. It's big. It's bigger than the One. It's a little bit bigger than the S4, actually, as a matter of fact. Let me go ahead and compare it to the S4 here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and compare it in size to, let's say, Nokia Lumia 521, okay, which is just an obscure phone. I wanted to compare it in size. Let's go ahead and compare it to, and this is a very obscure one, an iPhone 3G. Okay, so that's a really old phone. You can see the whole phone fits on the screen. Let's compare it to a Galaxy S4. You can see it next to the Galaxy S4. It's a little bit bigger, and obviously I'm going to do a Galaxy S5 comparison as soon as I get that phone, so stay tuned for all those comparison videos. And then you can see the Note 2. This is a damaged Note 2, but you can see the size difference. They're almost about the same, really, in size. The Note 2 is obviously a little bit wider because it has a larger screen, but it definitely stands out. I mean, it's a heck of a looking phone. It's an eye catcher. It's gold. If you're into gold, I really wasn't into gold at first. I was a fan of black phones, but I thought, hey, might as well go with something different if I'm going to pay all this money, and I did. All right, let's go into the software now. So you're running on Sense 6 Sense is what they're calling it, on KitKat 4.4.2, and you can see that Sense HTC Sense version 6. So they've added quite a few features here. It's not that dramatically different from Sense 5. But it's different enough to warrant some solid changes. Now, first thing that I'm going to mention with KitKat is that it's a lot smoother. It feels faster than Jelly Bean, whether that's 4.2 or 4.3. With the Gorilla Glass 3, and if you're familiar with the Nexus 5, the Gorilla Glass 3 is very, very sensitive. I mean, sometimes to a fault. Like my thumb will be right here and I'll accidentally send text. So you can see I basically just pushed the Maps icon without even really touching it, but it's a very sensitive screen, and that's a good thing to some people because Android's always been kind of faulted for having their quote-unquote lag, which I don't buy, never have, but this thing is super duper blazing fast. Gorilla Glass 3 means it's just the screen is closer, the glass is closer to the LCD in terms of being fused. It's a super fast display, it's super responsive. I find myself accidentally moving widgets and icons, accidentally texting people. Hey, you don't want to accidentally call your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, so be careful about that. But you can see if I just go ahead and open apps, it's absolutely blazing fast, okay? You can see just operations in general. Open a tab, close a tab, dialer, Hangouts, app drawer, so everything's fast. And to close out of everything, I could just X out, multitasking. Going back to Pandora here, let's go ahead and listen to some sound quality before we do anything else, because really that's one of the main features here with the One is the boom sound speakers. And they don't have Beats Audio anymore, but it's still really loud. See, it doesn't slow anything down in terms of operation. 2 gigs of RAM, perfectly fine. Multitasking again. Just swipe up, or you can X them all out. Okay, so let's get out of Pandora and let's go to the lock screen here. Now, they added this double tap feature. If you're familiar with the LG G2 or the Optimus G Pro, then you're aware of the double tap feature. And you can see the shortcuts right here, which you can customize. You also have the lock screen widgets. You have the ability to access your camera, Google Now, as well as the notification bar and the quick settings panel, which is customizable as well. If you just click right there, you can customize these toggles right here. All right, let's go back up. Unlock. You can see you can unlock and go to the left, go to the right. All right, so if we go to the right here, you can see you get BlinkFeed. Of course, you could just traditionally unlock it with the lock button. If we go to the left, you get the home screen. So, it's a good system in terms of the double tap feature. It's basically made so that people don't have to go all the way up to unlock their phone, but it's pretty responsive. I mean, you get that little vibrate haptic vibrate effect to know that you're about to unlock your screen. You just simply swipe up and there you go. So going to the settings, they've added some features here, and I'll explain. So if you go to more here, obviously you have your NFC and mobile network sharing and all that, but you also have HTC Mini Plus. You can see what this is right here. It says connect to HTC Mini Plus. So this is a new feature that they've added as part of the wireless and networks. You also have personalize, which you can obviously change the wallpaper on the home screen and lock screen. You also have the ability to add a different launcher under home screen. You got home screen wallpapers here. If I go to HTC wallpapers, you can see the variety of high quality wallpapers that they've added. And yes, they definitely are high quality to basically complement the 1080p screen that you have right here. Apps and widgets obviously is just adding widgets to the home screen. You can see the variety of HTC and Google widgets right here. You also have the ability to move home screens around, add home screens, as well as remove panels and remove BlinkFeed, which has been a feature since Sense 5.5. You could set it as home or you can remove it altogether. That is really up to you. Okay, so going back to personalize, you have lock screen wallpaper, you have theme, so you can change the theme, the color schemes, and that's what the theme does. And you can see the color schemes will be right up top, so it's letting you know what colors it's going to utilize when you change that theme. You got ringtone, notification sounds, alarms. If you go to accounts and sync, obviously that's all your accounts. Location, security, backup and reset, get content from another phone, which has been a Sense feature. Okay, so let's see what else is here. And let's see, I'm gonna get that. All right, let's see. You got kid mode. You got enable lock screen widgets, obviously, unlock music automatically. So, you know, features that if you're familiar with HTC Sense, then you're familiar with these features. You have the gestures and whatnot, Daydream, of course, motion launch gestures, which if I go to that, you could see it's enabled. You got, you know, swiping to enable a call, double tap to unlock the screen, etc., etc. So, a variety of different motion launch gestures, which is great. Of course, G sensor calibration. Now, of course, with the SD card storage, you can add an SD card and whatnot and do what you like with the SD card. You have printing options, and if you go to about here, let's say you want to enable developer options, what you simply have to do is go to I believe it's, if I found it, there we go, network mode, no, phone identity, no, software information, more, there we go. Keep clicking on build number, you are now a developer, and developer option essentially allows you to turn on USB debugging. It allows you to adjust the window animation speeds, the transition speeds and whatnot, so you can see that right there. You have the variety of different developer options. Going back to the settings here. So the settings menu is pretty simple. You can see now you have that inertia effect, right? I mean, that's that simple inertia effect, of course. So you have the inertia effect here on the settings, very simplistic in terms of the way that it's laid out. It's all white with black text. You can see that you have that purple right there. That purple is because I have that specific theme installed. You could change that. It could be green. It could be a variety of different colors if you were to change the theme. So you would just simply go to I believe it's personalize and then theme, and you could change the color schemes straight from theme. And now again, if I want to just close out, I just simply click on the multitasking button and I could just swipe up. It's going to take me back to my home screen. Now, if I hold back on these buttons, you can see Google Now is activated when I long press on home. All right, nothing when I long press on the multitasking. Of course, I could swipe up to get Google Now. Tell me the weather.
It's 81 degrees and clear in Glendale.
What is 6 minus 6 times 2 to the third power?
The answer is 528.
Who is the Prime Minister of Spain?
Mariano Rajoy is the Prime Minister of Spain.
Who is the CEO of Microsoft?
The CEO of Microsoft Corporation is Satya Nadella.
How old is Angelina Jolie?
Angelina Jolie is 38 years old.
38. Okay. How tall is Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt is 5 feet 11 inches tall.
Okay. What is the iPhone?
iPhones. The iPhone is a line of smartphones designed and marketed by Apple Inc. It runs Apple's iOS mobile operating system.
iOS.
First generation
Okay. Set reminder tomorrow at 3 p.m. Need to repair Galaxy Note 2. You see, sets a reminder. Open Internet. I should have put open browser.
Opening app.
There we go. Internet. Okay. And of course, you have the WebKit browser here that HTC gives you. You can see how that works here. All right, let's go to technability.com. Thank you guys for watching Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check us out on technability.com, Google+, Twitter, all that good stuff, Facebook. Thank you guys for supporting us. We're nearing 10,000 subscribers. That's really cool. We're really proud of that number. So thank you guys for that. Now you can see the WebKit browser, pinch zoom, super smooth. Of course, you have the ability to double tap, to long press on on text to get a definition, or just to copy and paste text. You can see that right there. Okay, and again, pinch zoom is super smooth. Little to no checkerboarding because of the quad-core Snapdragon 801 processor with the Adreno 330 GPU. You can see you have the variety of different options here, including desktop mode. If I was to go here, I can just basically go to my tabs, add a new tab, or add a new incognito tab, which basically doesn't save it to your history or anything like that. Okay, if I go back here, I could click on an article and I could do reader mode. Okay, which is a cool feature. Fan of reader mode. Alright, so you can see again going back to settings. Alright, so the browser is super smooth, and this is their WebKit browser. You don't have to use their WebKit browser because you do have the option to download Chrome. Okay, so here's Google Chrome, which I'm a bit more of a fan of Google Chrome. I just like the gestures on Google Chrome. I like the way that it's a little bit faster. It's a little bit smoother for my taste. Now, that's not true for all incarnations of stock Android browsers. I know a lot of people are big fans of Samsung stock browsers. So again, you can see the pinch zoom super smooth here on Chrome. You could pinch and pan around the screen with your 5-finger multi-touch, something that was once only available on iOS. Now, of course, Windows Phone with Internet Explorer. But you could see that I'm pinching and panning through the screen. Why does that matter? It really doesn't, but it's just capable of 5-finger to 10-finger multi-touch. So you can see again panning through, little to no checkerboard. Again, if I just swipe with a little bit more aggression, I can go all the way to the bottom of the screen. If I swipe with less aggression, you can see it's a little bit slower. With other platforms, you basically have to keep swiping. So I like the ability to just kind of like swipe really fast and get all the way to the bottom. And again, you have the ability to request desktop side, add to home screen. So if I add this to home screen, okay, you can see what it does. It adds my icon right there. So I like that. That's always been a Chrome feature, of course. All right, going back to Chrome, close out, okay, close out, go home. Check out the notification bar right here. You can see how text messages work. I could just swipe them away. Of course, again, going back to these, the quick settings, you have the toggles that you could set up and adjust. You can see how this works right here. You can add them, you can remove them. That is your prerogative as well. And you can, of course, just use 2 fingers to get that. Click right here, go back to your notification. So, and of course, you have your Google Plus profile and all that good stuff. And kid mode, which is literally right there. So now you also have the ability, of course, to utilize their messaging app, which I don't use. I like Hangouts, but you can see their messaging app right here. Okay, the keyboard, I'm using Google's keyboard. The text is super crisp. It's super crisp, the fonts. And let's just go ahead and look at Google's keyboard here, or HTC's keyboard. I'm not crazy about it, but you know what? It's there. Has a good sound to it. You could just do this. Hey, let's go hang out today, period. Let's go to the beach. I hear it's really nice, comma, do you want to go, question mark. If I keep talking, it will keep typing, but I don't know how fast I could talk and how fast it could catch up with me. But if I continue to talk, maybe it will. Technability is your source for no-nonsense tech. Let's see if it could type that out. If it does, great. It didn't. It put text ability instead. But you can see it's continue to type as I continue talking. And this is a fantastic feature that is only available on Google's Android platform. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out of this. You can see their keyboard. Of course, you could just, you don't have the gestures like in Hangouts. You could just discard it. You also have the ability to change themes and whatnot. You have a block list as well for those of you looking to block things. You could just go to General here, and you can see you have the ability to change the color scheme in the background. So that's cool. Nice little customizations. You can add your own personal background, call history, etc. Going back to Hangouts, of course, so you're familiar with Hangouts. Simple to use. You have gestures. You could just gesture back. So I like Hangouts. I'm a little bit more of a fan of Hangouts than I am stock messaging apps on Android. All right, now let's go ahead and look at some video quality before we get into the camera and the gallery. So video quality is really good on this thing. There's no doubt about that. And by the way, I'm at about 65% brightness here. So, let's go ahead and do the HTC One first impressions. Okay, and again, the LTE network is pretty fast. Great quality audio. Hey guys, welcome to Technical. Fast forward, you can rewind. It's pretty quick, right? As long as you put one of their cases, maybe that dot matrix, you should be fine in terms of having the phone slip out of your hand, which unfortunately... We're going to close out of video quality. You know what video quality is going to look like. It's going to look good. I think I said I'm at 65. I'm actually at 60. Let's put it at 65. All right, let's go ahead and look at the camera. A lot of people are curious about the camera. Let's go ahead and just aim this here this way and look at the camera here for a second. All right, so the camera is super nice. Obviously, you have the dual cameras here, 4 ultra pixel with dual LED flash. Super quick to take pictures. Look at that. Of course, you have burst shot as well. Super quick. Best shot. You can disable this, but it'll ask you if you want to do best shot. Let's just do best shot. Push OK. All right, so let's go ahead and take another picture of the couch. We could zoom in and take a picture of the couch, and you can see how zoom looks, or the zoom. Autofocus and whatnot, and of course you have the flash, which is super bright. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this around and show you guys how bright this flash is. And it's super quick to take pictures. That is just awesome, right? I am a fan of this camera. It's a good camera. You know, don't let the 4 ultra pixel or the 4 megapixel fool you. This thing is a good camera. It has a dual camera for a reason. It takes solid photos, clearer, crisper, better in low light. So in my opinion, this is a great camera. And of course, you have a variety of options here. The ISO options. You have the variety of different filters as well. You have the settings here where you could crop. You have the grid options, geotagging the photos, of course the volume button options. You can adjust the volume buttons to either zoom, capture, etc. You have the filters right here. You can see the filters, fisheye, etc. Depth of field. Okay, so you can see if I take a picture with these filters, still pretty quick even with the flash on. If we turn the flash off, it's very quick. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to normal mode. And of course, if you click, what you just did, if you click right here, you get your variety of different options on the camera. So you got selfie, which is front-facing camera. Let's click on that. Hey there. All right, you could tap, starts a countdown. Takes a picture. It's great quality, of course. You can adjust you can edit it from literally right after you take the picture. Eye enhancer, eye brightness, lighting, etc., etc. You can unfocus, foreground or seasons, dimensions, plus filters, frames, tools. You have a variety of different editing options here with HTC stock editing features. You have video dual capture, pan 360, Zoe camera. If we click on dual capture here, you can see how that works. If you've used the Galaxy S4, you know what this feature is. Let's go ahead and go to the regular camera. And then let's go back to dual capture here. There you go. All right, so it just took 2 pictures using the front and the rear camera, and it's still super fast. And of course, you could do this with video as well. So you can see the video quality. We are recording video right now at 1080p. Okay. This is going to be just a quick video. Obviously, it's not indicative of the act. You know, I mean, if I had better, and you guys will see. I'm going to post videos on video quality and better situations. All right. You also have obviously pan 360, which is the 360 mode. You have the Zoe camera, which is cool. And, you know, if Zoe really captures those moments that you sometimes think you're missing. So Zoe is really cool. All right, going back to the camera here. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to video. Look at some of the features here that you have on the video. All right, you have video quality up to 1080p. You can see that video quality here. All right, you have review duration, storage, camera options, etc. So a lot of different features with the video as well. All right, so the camera is really good in my opinion. I mean, there are a ton of features that it comes with, really, and that's, you know, HTC is emphasizing on their camera, guys. I mean, they're really not holding any punches on the quality of their camera. And if there's one thing that I can say or attest to, it's that really it is good quality. A lot of people, you know, had complaints about the original HTC One camera. I think they've kind of resolved some of those issues or some of the concerns that people had. And you can see if I click on the image right here, I can share the image, I can edit the image, I can highlight it, and of course third-party apps do sync here with the sharing option. Okay, a variety of different sharing options. If you download third-party apps, editing apps, again, you can edit it going back to the editing options. Going back here, you can see I can delete it, obviously, highlight it, and you have the features right here, set as wallpaper, etc. Let's look at the video here, dual video. Video as well, so you can see the video quality. We are recording video right now at 1080p. You can take a picture of whatever it is that you're watching as you're watching it. It's not. Okay, so let's go ahead and just video as well. Go back here. And of course, like I said, you have the ability to multitask and just close out of things, go back home, and go into the gallery here. You can see the gallery is, it takes a little getting used to. It's not your regular stock gallery, stock Android gallery, but you have the ability, you can see right here, it says select an album. Go back here, you can just swipe to locations. If you have geotagging on, you can albums, you got timeline, timeline, which is kind of like a little Zoe feature. It'll create like this little thing for you, like this little montage for you, which is actually pretty cool, I suppose. You can see that right there. You got like a little montage going on. Going back to albums, you can see you have a variety of different albums. You have the option to view the album, delete the album. So if we go to camera shots right here, you could see the camera shots, pictures that were taken and whatnot. So that's that right there. Zoom in, zoom out, very easy to do. Delete, etc., etc. So a lot of different features here. The camera the camera or the gallery is actually pretty solid. It gets the job done. Of course, if you want to share things, you just click on share. You can share multiple different items at once. Just click on Gmail, for example, and just click on a bunch of things, and you can email it, text it, and all that good stuff. Okay, going back here, let's check out BlinkFeed. BlinkFeed. Now, since Sense 5.5, you've had the ability to customize BlinkFeed, add your own feed. So if I want to add, let's say, Technability to BlinkFeed, I can do that. You can add all sorts of custom feeds, and if you go to highlights right here, you swipe to the left, you can see you got compose, service and apps, add content, remove content. So I can remove stuff. Let's say I want to add content. Okay, very similar to what you got with the previous version of BlinkFeed, a little bit different obviously in terms of its layout. You could see all the different things that you have that you can add. See, it says all content, different countries. So you have different countries, you can add content. World sports, music, pretty much anything, literally. BlinkFeed picks, you want some suggestions, you could refresh it by just swiping down. Going back here, if I go back to the options, you have settings as well. So you got offline news reading, reading list, choose highlight topics. Okay. Services and apps, compose. So services and apps, you can add Twitter, Zoe, Facebook calendar, etc., etc. So you have all these different features here that you can add. And of course, if you're not a fan of BlinkFeed, you could simply just remove it and it'll go away. Okay, you don't have to have it there, guys. You don't have to have your feeds there, so that's cool. I mean, they're not really imposing it on you. At first they did, but really now it's not being imposed on you. So navigate to Pasadena, California. Okay, it'll navigate me to Pasadena, California, lock into the GPS, and boom, boom, you are navigating. Okay, let's go back and run a quadrant here for you guys, for all you developer guys. Again, because it's the unlocked bootloader model, you are going to get seamless development. So seamless development here with the M8 because you have an unlocked bootloader. So basically that means when you go into fast boot mode or whatever, you want to flash a custom ROM, it's going to already be unlocked. You don't have to go through HTC Dev's website to unlock the bootloader. So you can easily root this device and you can easily flash custom ROMs if that's what you want to do. And we will do that here at Technability. So stay tuned as we look at some of the more popular ROMs for the HTC M8. You have quadrant right here, which is basically a benchmark of the speed of the phone and a variety of different factors. Not everybody swears by these benchmarks. I personally don't, but it's there, and you know, a lot of people want to see what types of scores this thing gets. So let's click on yes. Wow, 23,898. That's pretty solid, right? Yeah, that's very solid. The original HTC One ranged at about 12,500 to 13,500, so 23,898 is pretty good. I'm assuming on Antutu it's probably in the range of near 40,000, okay? And we'll run a separate video with just benchmarks. You can see their calendar, very simplistic. Again, you got the color scheme, the light blue. Going back, see the calculator as well here. Okay, simple calculator. In the app drawer, you have the option to change the grid size to 3x4, which really doesn't look right on this size screen. And of course, 4x5. You can do it custom alphabetical. And most recent, you got the Zoe option, you got the TV option, of course, which is the IR blaster. You can use it as a remote control by just simply setting that up. Let's go ahead and look at some games. Crazy Taxi, one of my favorite games on the Sega Dreamcast growing up. For all you young guys out there, young girls, if you don't remember the Dreamcast, really check out some of the emulators that they have. Or they have a lot of games now in the Play Store.
Alright, let's go buy some crazy
money. So this phone again is $649 in the Play Store.
Go ahead and pick a car.
Unlock.
Alright, let's get it.
You have the unlock model on the bootloader. Unlock bootloader.
It's something crazy, buddy. Are you ready? Here we go. That's it?
No, thanks. Yeah, pick me up on the hill.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it completely sucks trying to play this into the Switch. Alright, I'm just exiting out. Just go home. Again, go into the multitasking. You can just click out of everything at once. Now, people have been asking me about battery life when I posted the initial video. Battery life has been pretty decent. It's a, I believe, 2600 milliamp battery. Maybe I'm off about that, but it's a bigger battery than the original HTC One, and I've had solid battery life. I mean, watching streaming videos, listening to streaming music, it's been pretty decent. Again, I have my brightness anywhere between 60 to 65%. If I was to put it at 100%, you can see how bright that thing is at 100%. It's super bright, great in direct sunlight. You could see it fairly seamlessly. But in terms of battery life, I really haven't had any issues. I mean, I'm content with it, but sometimes it does drain fast when you're doing when you're watching streaming video and whatnot. So keep that in mind. It's got good solid battery life, but it's not the best. And of course, you know, given how heavy really the OS is in sense, it's just likely that you're not going to get the top of the you're not going to get the best battery life, but it's good enough in my opinion. You have social networks synced on and whatnot. It should be fine. You should be fine. I mean, everybody carries a charger around these days, right? So it's not really that big of a deal. Now you have flashlight as well. Of course, you have HTC's flashlight, which is super bright. Look at that thing. It's literally a flashlight. Okay, if I put it to the brightest, see how bright that is? Whoa. Okay, turn it off. Go home. In terms of the dialer, see the dialer here, very simplistic dialer. Contacts, very simplistic as well. So you know, it's look, if you're used to HTC Sense on the 5 or 5.5 on the original HTC One, or even let's say on the One X, One S, then you're familiar with this system. I am a fan of HTC Sense. I'm a fan of certain overlays on Android phones, not all, but certain. This is no exception. I'm a fan of HTC Sense and what they've done with it. Really, it's unique. It feels good. It's fast. It's smooth. Sometimes smooth to a fault. Sometimes responsive to a fault in terms of you'll accidentally move widgets around or make phone calls and whatnot. But it's really a good system. You can see how fast that thing is if I want to move around a widget. Super duper blazing fast, no doubt about that, moving icons around and whatnot. So it's a super fast system. The lock screen, everything's easy to use, easy to navigate. There isn't much of a learning curve despite what you would assume or think, you know, because there aren't as many features as TouchWiz. But there's just about the right amount of customizations to get you through your day. And of course, if you're not content, go into the Play Store. There's a multitude of custom launchers and whatnot that you could download. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover here with the HTC One M8 Developer Edition Gold 32GB model. If you guys have any questions in relation to this phone, please ask me in the comment section below. This is a great phone. Personally, I'm very content with it as a daily driver. Of course, I have so many different phones that I kind of get lost in the fray, but the HTC M8 right now has been super, you know, I mean, I have no complaints at this point. If there are any complaints that I may have in the near future, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm perfectly content with it. It's a phone that you have to consider if you're in the market, if you have an upgrade. Please, guys, take a look at the HTC One. Let them know that we support them because they are making great phones with good build qualities, and it's something that should be looked at by the average consumer. All right, guys, I'm Bearge. This is Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out technability.com. Follow us on Google+, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, all that good stuff. Again, thank you guys for supporting us, reaching 10,000 subscribers. That's a good number, at least for us it is for the time being. We're trying to be humble and modest about it, so thank you guys. I am Bears, this is Technability. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.